His election as US president was generally welcomed by American business. But Donald Trump's honeymoon with Wall Street already looks as though it could be heading for a premature end. CEOs who'd been celebrating the positive impact of a Trump White House on share prices now fear he's actually undermining their competitiveness. In particular, tech companies have come out against the president's decision to ban immigrants from 7 predominantly Muslim countries. There's concern about the effect on their employees around the globe. And as Andre-Pierre du Plessis reports, they're also worried about what may be coming next.
American tech companies have for years relied on skilled engineers from overseas to create some of the world's best products, which is why Silicon Valley executives have been rattled by Donald Trump's executive order barring nationals of 7 Muslim-majority countries. At Google, where 187 employees are affected, co-founder Sergey Brin joined a protest at the San Francisco airport. The CEOs of Facebook, Netflix, Amazon and eBay criticized President Trump for the first time since he won the election. At Microsoft, where 76 staffers are affected, the company warned investors that their profits could be impacted by Trump's actions. They said in a statement, changes in US immigration policies that restrain the flow of technical and professional talent may inhibit our ability to adequately staff our research and development efforts. Trump is expected to take more action to curb immigration. One leaked White House document proposes an executive order considering reform to the H-1B visa program. This is a visa that the tech industry relies heavily on, allowing nearly 100,000 skilled foreigners to work in the US. Back in March, Trump said it was a cheap labor program that he would end. Many Silicon Valley companies tend to hire Indian nationals for their technical expertise, which has made India the largest beneficiary of these visas. As a result, Indians sent about $10.6 billion in remittances back to India in 2015. Ending the visa would directly impact India.
We think this is actually going to be harmful to us. It would be harmful to the American economy. Frankly, it would be harmful to the relationship.
Ultimately, steps taken by chief executives to address Trump over these steps seem to depend on consumers. Only after coming under pressure from users threatening to delete their Uber apps did Travis Kalanick, one of several CEOs serving on a Trump advisory board, promise to do something about it. Critics say if Trump goes through with these changes, companies will go offshore, like Microsoft has, to seek talent from Canada. With more than half of all Silicon Valley startups founded by immigrants, some fear the very foundation of American innovation could now be at risk.
And AP joins me now here in the studio. AP, some big name companies involved in this. Just how worried are they?
Right, so I think obviously if you look at the companies, the only reason why my report looked at Silicon Valley companies is because these are the companies the only companies really, or the only sector who's come out against this, with the exception of a few. General Electric, Ford came out later today, 3 days after Trump signed this executive order. But of course, these companies are not as affected as refugees or people who live in those countries. But I want to read you a statement that came from one company, Bloomberg LP, that was started by another billionaire, Michael Bloomberg. He said in a letter that we obtained from employees, given the importance of global diversity to our company and its culture, I wanted everyone to know that we will do everything possible to minimize any disruptions. Now, I'm highlighting this quote because this talks to company culture. This talks to really a core part of what many companies in America profess to be about. If they really want to be diverse, I mean, we talk a lot about globalization and how Trump and even Brexit are responsible for really an end to globalization. But if the core of what your company is about, if Apple, for example, which was started by Steve Jobs, the son of a Syrian, if that's a foundation of a company, then surely you are going to take issue with Trump's issue with this ban.
But is there anything these companies can do, or they're just going to have to accept this is the president and he can do pretty much what he wants in this first period in office?
Yes, they can. Obviously, they were trying to get on his good side. He's put a lot of people on his advisory committee. But in the US, more than in any other country, companies rule government. You know, they are in the pockets of lobbyists. And we have seen some consumer-facing companies come out very publicly. One example, Starbucks, whose CEO said that he will hire 10,000 refugees over the next 5 years. Now, obviously, that faces, we're already seeing Trump supporters who are saying that they will boycott Starbucks. So for public-facing companies, it is a hard thing to do, but especially in a very, PC time that America has been in and continues to be in this fear that they'll offend someone. But if this is the core part of a company, for a company like Starbucks, then we need to hear more from them.
AP, thank you very much indeed.